Hey, good morning. Happy New Year. It's the 10th of January. Hope you're having a great month so far. I got my coffee, and today I want to talk a little bit about CRM processes and how to turn those leads into sales. Let me go ahead and get a sip to get started here. So, one of the things that I've been talking to dealers about this month so far is that it seems that many dealerships are off to a little bit of a slow start. Kind of expected, considering that we just came off of a huge year-end, Christmas, New Year's. There's a crazy bad flu going around. A lot of people were sick. I was even down a few days last week, and weather is crazy. Now we got the fires in California. Hope if any listeners are out there, hopefully your friends and family are safe from that terrible situation. But today I thought it'd be a really good idea to refocus on the basics. A lot of times when I'm talking to dealers, what we really focus on is what is my CTA stack set up to convert leads. And there seems to be a lot of conversation about the changing of the colors, the changing of the placements, the changing of the messaging that we put into these buttons. And all of those things are, yes, very important. And there's a lot of things that we can do from a testing standpoint to make sure that they're fully optimized to be able to get every single lead out of every opportunity when a customer visits a dealership website. But I think a lot of times we lose track of what happens once a customer actually engages with one of those CTA buttons. What happens to that lead once it gets flows to your dealership's CRM? What happens when that salesperson takes that lead? How are we communicating with the customer to create an opportunity? And a lot of time, I think we get into the weeds of the lead conversion and that ADF XML lead, how it's coming into the dealership's CRM, how we're looking at the lead conversion percentages in Google Analytics, how we're able to discover where that traffic is coming from to hit the website, and what that time on site is, or the engagement time, or the ASC conversions, and all of the things that yes, are important, but at the end of the day, the most important metric is it helping us sell cars? Is it creating the opportunities so we can have our salespeople have dialogue with customers and get that customer to come into the dealership showroom? So that's really what I want to focus on today. So I am going to share my screen real quick, and we are going to look at some CTAs. I'm going to give some recommendations on what a dealership can do in order to increase the amount of leads generated on a dealership website. So here is an example VDP from Entice 360. Regardless of whatever website provider that you are using, regardless of what CTAs you actually have on your SRPs or your VDPs, what I want to focus on is the opportunities. Now, I actually did a presentation to Digital Dealer. I think it was back in 2020 or 2021. It was when they had the virtual presentations. I did one. The reason I'm bringing that up is just yesterday, somebody asked me about why we have our CTA stacks the way that we have. And during that presentation a few years ago, I described exactly why we have this set up the way that we do. A lot of psychology behind it, a lot of best practice recommendations, a lot of A/B testing, a lot of multivariate testing through Google Optimize to come up with what we recommend for our CTA stack. What we're looking at right now is, number one, we have this primary CTA. Now, I know on the screen it actually is showing blue, but if you go to Entice 360, it actually is green. And there's a little bit of animation to it. We got an arrow pointing to it. The reason that we have this is that we want to make sure that customers know that that is our primary CTA. That's the most important CTA that you are going to have on your dealership website. It is what is going to generate the most amount of leads from your dealership website, and it should be. That primary CTA can be something like we have here, which is unlock best price. It can be request best price. It can be get best price. It can be contact us. Whatever it is, you're going to have one primary CTA on your dealership website. How do you know what your primary CTA is? Well, when you arrive at the dealership's VDP or SRP, if you want to look at it that way, there should be one CTA button that your eyes go to immediately. And it should be a little bit bigger. It should be a little bit bolder. It should be a little bit flashy. And that's exactly what we have our primary CTA set up as. And you can also see things like the very first initial image that we have for the vehicle. We know that customers' brains are going to look at a car. They're going to really look at that as it is a face, and it's going to point that face is going to be pointing to what our primary CTA is. So that is the goal with the positioning of that first image. Tying into some psychology. Again, that is our primary CTA. That's what we want a customer to do. From that point, we're going to look at secondary CTAs and tertiary CTAs. Getting a little bit off track because we want to talk about the CRM process, but what I want to focus on today is when a customer visits your dealership website and they are going to convert into a lead, when they convert into a lead, we need to look at what our responses are going to be based on how the customer is converting into a lead. What I see happening at a lot of dealerships is when a lead comes into the dealership CRM, regardless of the lead source, the response is always the same. We have some automated responses. We have some automated phone calls, and we train our salespeople that when a lead comes in, we want to hurry up and respond to that customer. And when we respond to the customer, it is always the same. So let's just think about that for a second. Customer comes to the website and they convert using that primary CTA, get best price. When we respond to the lead that's generated from that primary CTA, we better talk about providing that customer with a best price. That's what's going to create the connection between the salesperson and the customer. So when they reach out for that primary CTA, unlocking best price, let's talk about that. And I would recommend that you sit down as a group, throw up a Google Doc and start writing out a response that you want to train your salespeople to use when they respond to the customer in an autoresponder email template, and what that phone call should look like when you're calling that customer. In my recommendation, when a customer converts into a lead, you're going to get the customer's email address, you're going to get the customer's phone number. You should reach out to that customer immediately. I think that's something that most dealerships are doing right now. But that phone call, what that phone call should look like, or should sound like, should be something like, hey, Jim Jones, or hey, Johnny Depp. Hey, this is David Farmer from Entice 360 Honda. The reason for my call is we just received a request for you to unlock the best price. I wanted to follow up to make sure that you received our best price in the auto response email that we provided. And I want to find out when would be a good time for you to come and look at that 2025 Honda Civic Sedan LX that you got the best price for. Would you like to come in later today, or would tomorrow morning be better? So that is a way to be able to respond to the customer when they unlock best price using that primary CTA. Your team should be an expert at handling that type of lead. That type of response should be different than when a lead comes in from AutoTrader or Cars.com or Car Gurus or any other lead source. It should be addressing the fact that the customer requested information from any of those processes. Now, other CTAs we're looking at our dealership website. I'm going to go back to this real quick. Some of the things that we include in our CTAs with Entice 360 is our $25 test drive offer, is our get a Kelley Blue Book trade-in value. It is getting pre-qualified and get your free credit score. It is sell or trade your vehicle and get a real offer, or it is to get real payments. These are all what I like to consider tertiary, meaning we got a primary and we got a secondary. Secondary is going to be text. We're going to talk about that in a little bit. But sequentially, we can see that even though we have these 5 buttons right here, the way that we've created it to look and feel like one. So when you look at all of the CTAs and the recommendations from the OEMs and any of the other consultants in the automotive industry, they say, man, you got a lot of CTAs on your website. You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. The reality is that these are all designed to feel like one, and they do based on the way that we have them created. So we got 1, 2, 3. Now, when a customer, let me come back over here. When a customer engages with any of those, a lead is going to be generated into your dealership's CRM. Inside that ADF XML that's going into the dealership CRM, it's going to show what type of CTA the customer clicked on, whether it is schedule a test drive or get a trade-in value or get pre-qualified or build my deal or get real payments. These are the elements that we want to include in our response. So for 2025, my recommendation would be to go into your CRM, see if you have different autoresponders set up to be aligned with how customers are engaging on your dealership website, and ensure that those responses include the information about how that customer is engaging with your dealership website. Just think this through. If you were a customer and you went to a dealership website and you schedule a test drive, and then your autoresponder is, hey, I see that you have interest on this 2025 Honda Civic. I just want to make sure that you got all the information that you need. If there's anything I can do to help, please let me know. And it's like, well, that's nothing to do with why I actually converted or why I actually engaged on the dealership website. What I did was I bypassed that. I removed the friction so I can schedule an appointment. What that phone call should be is confirming the appointment that the customer selected. So with our schedule a test drive technology, a customer has the ability to select a day and a day part and time. So when you reach out, or when your sales team reach out to that customer, you should be engaging with that based on that information. So in the ADF XML lead, it's going to show that it's a schedule a test drive lead. It's going to show if the customer scheduled an appointment, selected an appointment date and appointment time. All we need to do as salespeople is confirm that appointment. Let's bypass the whole qualification process. Let's bypass the whole how much you want to put down, how much you want to pay per month, what do you have for your trade, what do you owe on your trade, do you have good credit, you got bad credit, all of those pre-qualifications. Let's just get rid of those. Let's focus on why the customer converted to a lead on your dealership website, and invite that customer and confirm that appointment. My recommendation would sound something like this. Hey, Mr. Johnny Depp, my name is, I don't know why I'm using Johnny Depp, but I am. Hey, Mr. Johnny Depp, my name is David Farmer from Entice 360 Honda. Reason for my call is we just got notified that you scheduled an appointment for a VIP test drive for taking a test drive on a 2025 Honda Civic LX. I just want to let you know that we will be prepared for your visit. I'll have the vehicle ready, gassed up, turned on, cooled down, or warmed up, or whatever, depending on what time of year it is. Right now, in many parts of the country, you're going to make sure that the heater is on and ready for us to be able to provide a full feature demonstration and presentation. I see here that you schedule an appointment for Saturday at 10 a.m. I just wanted to find out if there's any reason that you don't think you're going to be able to make it for that appointment on Saturday at 10 a.m. And then wait for the customer to respond. Nope, I'm ready to go. I'll be there. Excellent. We'll be prepared for your visit. We'll have the vehicle ready for you to take a test drive, and we'll make sure that we're able to provide you with a great presentation and demonstration of all the great features of the new 2025 Honda Accord. Do you know your way to the dealership? Yes, you do. Great. So that is confirming the appointment. Now, if a customer scheduled the $25 Visa test drive offer, but didn't actually select an appointment day and appointment time, which they can do, especially with our abandonment technology, and we get that lead, we can also say to the customer, hey, Mr. Johnny Depp, Thanks for visiting our website and requesting the $25 Visa reward card offer. I see that you sent in a request on a 2025 Honda Civic LX and you want to take a test drive. All I want to do is find out what time is going to be most convenient for you to come down and take a test drive. Would sometime later today or tomorrow morning be good for you? That's a great technique to schedule an appointment and get the customer to actually commit to a date and a time. I've talked about these appointments scheduling techniques. It's nothing that I've created, but it is something that I've used for decades at this point. Offering the customer, and just to kind of talk a little bit more about that, you can use this in every capacity when scheduling an appointment, is I like to divide the day into day parts: morning, afternoon, evening. And whatever time period that I'm in right now, like today, right now, it's 10:30, it's 10:28 in the morning. And so it's the morning. So this afternoon would be the next day part, and the day part following would be this evening. So if I'm scheduling an appointment right now, I'm going to offer the next 2 day parts for the customer to come in. Hey, thanks for visiting our website. I see that you requested information on a test drive for a 2025 Honda Civic. I want to find out what time is going to be good for you to come in. Would sometime this afternoon or this evening be better for you? So I'm giving them choices and options. The next 2 day parts, this afternoon or this evening. If it's in the afternoon, I'm going to go this evening or tomorrow morning. The next step of that is to provide 2 different times. I love using the 15 and 45 option. So if a customer says, well, yeah, I could probably be there this afternoon. Great. Let me just take a look here. Okay, it does look like I have a 3:15 appointment available, or would 4:45 be better? So 3:15, 4:45. That's getting the customer to really commit to a specific time. Once they commit to that, we can lock it down. Is there any reason that you wouldn't be able to make it to the dealership at your appointment at 4:45 p.m.? Anyways, okay, so when we're thinking about our CRM processes and converting customers into leads on a dealership website, making sure that we're driving the right amount of traffic to a dealership website, and we're doing all that we need to from an analytics standpoint to be able to prove out we're getting the best quality traffic to the website to get them to convert on the dealership website. We have all of the events and conversions set up. But what's the most important thing is when a customer converts into a lead, scheduling a test drive, getting a trade-in value, getting pre-qualified, or calculating a payment, or just unlocking best price, that you have a process in place that is going to ensure that you're going to engage and meet the customer where they're at. They're talking about a trade, you talk about a trade. They're talking about scheduling a test drive, you talk about scheduling a test drive. They're calculating a payment on your dealership website, you're talking about that calculated payment on the website. Move into an appointment, schedule the appointment, and then get that appointment confirmed. And of course, another great technique is to make sure that you have a manager follow up with that appointment prior to. Another rule that I like to use is the 2-day, 2-hour, 2-minute rule. Basically what that means, that I schedule an appointment, I want to follow up 2 days before, 2 hours before, and then 2 minutes before. So if I schedule an appointment for, let's say, next Wednesday, on Monday, I want to call and confirm that appointment 2 days before. If I have an appointment for 4:45, at 2:45, I'm going to call and confirm that appointment. 2 minutes before, do the same thing. 2 days, 2 hours, 2 minutes. That's a great follow-up technique to confirm that you are serious about your appointments. Doing those things, optimizing a dealership website for lead conversion with using primary, secondary, and tertiary CTAs, using having your dealership CRM set up in a way that your autoresponders are going to be aligned with the way that the customers are engaging with the leads on your dealership website, and then having a phone call script set up in a way that's going to align with the way that customers are converting your dealership website, and appointment scheduling techniques, follow up and appointment confirmation techniques is what will help you succeed and sell more cars in 2025. I appreciate you reaching or spending a little bit of time with me over a little bit of coffee. You're going to find this video and many others on entice.com.